What is up, guys? My name is Noah, and you're watching Gerber Games. And today we are joined with Kaylee in the first episode
Hello.
of Gerber Games' first podcast, Gerber Talks.
Hello.
So, if you guys haven't heard, I have officially created a podcast series on YouTube. So, this is going to be the first episode. We're going to be talking about a lot of things on here. So, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the history of Gerber Games and how Gerber Games has become what it has today. So Kaylee here has been a part of Gerber Games since 2022. Since September of 2022, she first made her debut in a ROBLOX Doors video. That was her first debut. And so, ever since then, she's been an amazing member here on Gerber Games and has helped so much. And now we have just celebrated our most viewed video on Gerber Games, 32,000 views right now. Freaking insane. Can you still hear me, Kaylee?
Oh yeah. Sorry,
Okay,
I
good.
was
Oh, you're good.
I was just there was something I was trying to pick up.
No worries. So, in today's episode, the past, the present, and the future of Gerber Games, we're going to be first talking about a little bit of the history of Gerber Games because a lot of people are new to Gerber Games. I mean, we've gotten 500 subscribers in just this year alone. It took a year and a half to get 100 subscribers and another year and a half to get 100 more subscribers. So, let's start off the bat. Gerber Games was created in 2018 as Gerber AZ2. I posted a couple of videos. You know, I'm just talking like my high-pitched squeaky voice, making terrible Roblox content.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But a lot of people don't know this. In December of 2017, I almost struck a deal with Roblox themselves to have my own gaming show on Roblox's YouTube channel. Now, no one knows that. So this is the first time I'm talking about this. So I got in contact with a Roblox administrator named Valen. He is no longer an administrator, but he was really nice. He wanted to see some of the work I put in, and he was going to put in a message forward. But I felt like I wasn't ready yet to actually, to actually like complete, that. Like I just felt like I needed a little bit more practice. So I spent, 2018 working on a couple of things, nothing too big. And then I just stopped. I kind of focused on my animations at the time, and it was not until 2020 when I brought back Gerber Games. It was May of 2020. My friend Gracie and I, as well as some OGs may know who Chris is. Chris was an old friend of mine. He helped kickstart Gerber Games. So Gracie, Chris, and I were the OGs of Gerber Games. So we said, let's make a video, see how well it will do, what will happen. Let's find out. So we made a video, and it was a kickstart to many, many more videos. I mean, right now, let me look. Gerber Games right now is at 249 videos, which means that this podcast will be the 250th. So that is just crazy to think about. And that's YouTube Shorts, that's live streams, videos. I mean, that's just crazy. And in May of 2020, it was called Gerber AZ2, my Roblox username. And then it was Gerber Games, Gerber Games, my last name with games. And then I started making content on Gerber Games. So one thing that a lot of people don't know, if you've ever seen my show Homebloxia on Gerber Games, that was actually originally going to be released in June of 2020. It was going to be first released in November 2020. That's when it was released. But it was actually in June of 2020. If it were to have been released in June of 2020, perhaps the series would have done better on Gerber Games because I was just starting out. I was fresh off the block. I'm like, all right, let's make this like neighborhood. See how things will go. I got inspiration from AFMA at the time. Not a direct. I mean, the house looks identical, but I tried not to be like a direct copy or anything of AFMA. It was
Oh yeah.
yeah, it was fun though creating those first videos. And then I kind of just stopped. I was like, these suck. Like, these are terrible. And I was kind of doing some searching, just like, what can I do? And I was thinking about with Gracie, and I said, let's just go simple. Let's make a role play series where it's chaos. Like, there's nothing, it's just chaos. And she loved it. She's like, let's do this. So, in July of 2020, Gracie and I created the role play series called The Job Masters on Gerber Games. So that was the first actual like role play on Gerber Games. And a lot of people don't know this, but The Job Masters was actually completely unscripted.
Ooh.
So it was the
So you're
first.
just it's
Yep,
just on the fly. You're just winging it.
exactly. Yeah, so we winged it, Gracie and I. We did not know if it would go good or it would go bad, but we said we need to try. And to this day is one of my favorite YouTube series, even though it's, trash, like not trash, like just the quality. I mean, Gracie
Yeah.
and I held a
Yeah.
really good performance. Like, I mean, the quality was trash. 720p. Oh my gosh, it was really bad.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, but it is still to this day one of my favorite roleplay series on Gerber Games. I mean, it's had a lot of influence, and we created more. We did an innovation labs one. We were teachers. We were, you know, freaking everything. Like, we were race car drivers, and then I was kind of jumping around. Like, I wonder if I could make Homebloxia start back up again. And I said, okay, let me just mess around with animation a little bit more, and then I released Homebloxia. Now, the problem was with a November release date rather than a normal release date is that Homebloxia was made during the holidays, November 2020. That's when it was released. That's a problem because it's like I was so focused on creating Christmas themed episodes and Halloween themed episodes, I wasn't actually able to focus on the main episodes, right? And so the quality was really
Yeah.
bad that first episode. I mean, I remember my video editor didn't even render it. I had to screen record it from the video editor. It was so bad. And Homebloxia was originally going to have 13 episodes, but only 3 were fully created. Um,
Mm.
I canned Homebloxia, and then I said, okay, episode 4. We're gonna go strong with episode 4. Um, episode 4 was canceled. They were gonna go to like a private island or something like that. It would have been kind of cool, but no, I just kept canceling it. Like, and then I kind of did a little home improvement, kind of like on the animation. Like, I'm like, all right, let me just fix up the homes real quick. Let me just do this and this. Um, and that was good, but a lot of people don't realize that Homebloxia took a 2-year hiatus. A 1-year hiatus. Um, you know, in September of 2021, I posted one Homebloxia related short. Did okay, but that was the only thing I posted. And I'm like, okay, Homebloxia sucks. So I canceled Homebloxia. And then our voice actor, who played Tyler, left as well. He's not a part of Gerber Games or is to be affiliated with Gerber Games anymore. He provided the voice for Tyler on Gerber Games from 2020 to 2022, and then we decided that it would be best for him not to come back. It's kind of his decision, and so I wanted to again play around with the animation a little bit more. So I created a horror series, a little horror story. It was 3 episodes. It was called The Mansion. And it was about Noah
Mm.
renting an Airbnb. However, when he gets into the actual Airbnb, it's haunted. But it turns out that there's someone, you know, controlling this like haunted attraction and stuff. Like it was really cool to produce. Like I was a huge fan of it. I released an episode each month. Episode 1 in January of 2022, February of 2022. And then a whole year later, I released episode 3. A whole freaking year later, I'm like,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
yeah, people who are fans of that had to wait a long time.
Oh, no.
um,
Feels like me with my street.
oh my gosh, right? And then,
It's like, come on, please.
right? And then as I was finishing, as I called it, quote, the renovations in Gerber Games, like the Homebloxia, I said, you know what? I think it's time I bring back Homebloxia. It's had a good run. I think it could do great things coming back. And I said, okay.
Yeah, I just want to say now, so it's not like said way later. Congratulations on the 600 subs. I wasn't able to say it
Oh,
earlier when you were talking about it since
thank you
I
so much.
was trying to grab
Sorry.
something.
No, you're good. Thank you so much. Yes, I wouldn't have done it without you. Um,
Oh, thank you.
you're
But
welcome.
a lot of it was you. I'm just here.
Right? Yes, we'll get to your part soon, 2022. So I decided, okay, I need to create a cast. I used to provide most of the voices, or my friends would. I don't want to rely on my friends to do voices for my characters in Robloxia. So I did a casting call. I got Max. Oh, wait, no, not Max. Realm Trip. I got Chase. Oh my gosh. Wrong series. Chase, Misty, Violet. And then a couple of extras. Am I missing Chase, Misty, Violet, Noah? Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I made a Homebloxy episode. I did a couple of extra characters as well. A lot of people were a part of it. I released, it was called New Homebloxy at the time. It did really good for having less than 100 subscribers. It was doing really good. But then I started becoming unmotivated because the quality of it was crap. I mean, it would be months and months before a new episode would eventually get released. And, it was really unmotivating. And I'm just like, I can't keep doing this. So I decided to put Homebloxia on another hiatus in 2022. And then in October 2022. So let's get to Kaylee's part. Now, Kaylee and I have been friends for a long time, but she really didn't have a part on Gerber Games until she introduced me to Doors. I said, hey, I have this YouTube channel. How about we, get started? You can guest star. Her alias was not Kaylee. That was, someone different. She went by Cowboy. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the cowboy avatar.
The Cowboy avatar, the OG. And then that video did so well. I said, hey, you have a place here on Gerber Games. Stay. And she did. She is now part of Gerber Games, a permanent member. And now she's on Homebloxia. We're kind of trying to build her house right now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I know that house. And then, no, it was it was really cool because 2023 came around. I reached 200 subscribers. It took me a year and a half. I said, okay, I need to start moving Gerber Games into a different direction. I need to start focusing more on quality over quantity. And so I released Homebloxia Anecdotes. It was a Homebloxia episode released randomly. So it wouldn't be on a tight schedule. I'd feel pressured. I could just release it whenever I wanted. Now in Homebloxia Anecdotes, that had a couple of, I don't even remember how many episodes that had. Homebloxia Anecdotes. Let's see if I can find it here. Homebloxia Anecdotes had 8 episodes. It had the audition, the city grand opening, a back in time one, pizza delivery, and then some of the older Gerber Games videos I just put under the category of Homebloxia Anecdotes because I'm like, why not? And so that was early 2023. Now I posted the next video of the mansion, and then I said, okay, I see people doing YouTube shorts. I've been against it for the longest time, but I think it's time I do YouTube shorts. And I did, and my channel has grown so much ever since. I mean, YouTube shorts was one of the best decisions introducing YouTube Shorts was one of the best decisions I ever made for Gerber Games.
Mhm.
Um, Now, YouTube Shorts premiered in May for Gerber Games. Instantly, my subscriber count went up 100%. Like it skyrocketed. Like it was amazing to see how many people were like subscribing just from watching my YouTube Shorts. I was like, this is so cool. And then I said, okay, I love Homebloxia, but it brings me down sometimes if it's the same plot. What if I created a brand new series on Gerber Games that was in Homebloxia? It was involved with Homebloxia, but it would have been completely different. Well, I said, okay, this is Realm Trip. Realm Trip was kind of created on the wing. It was created in May of 2023. I rushed the casting call. I got a full cast again. There was a couple people that returned from Homebloxia. It was good. It was fun. You know, we had a really strong first episode. I mean, it was one of the highest quality episodes like I've ever seen. Like it was amazing. And that you guys can watch that. Like that's just available anywhere. Now, Realm Trip did so strong in the beginning. It had such a good storyline. Like it was about four best friends. Two of them get trapped, it's four best friends explore an abandoned building on the outskirts of Homebloxia. The abandoned building is a part of the renovations that are happening, all that stuff. Well, they find this mysterious crystal. They call it the Realm Crystal. Two of them fell inside the crystal, right? And, you know, they got lost. They got lost in time. It was, and then, you know, they ended up in different realms and they had to find their way back home. There's a mysterious guy named the President. Season 1 had 7 episodes. It was really fun to make. But I started losing the motivation because sometimes specific people would not turn in their lines. I mean, I just had another person. We had to remove them because they stopped responding to messages and announcements, even though it was in their agreement, not a contract, but an agreement that they would provide lines. Morel Trip did do a breakthrough. It was the first series on Gerber Games to have 2 seasons. We're working on season 2 right now. So now we talked about the past. We talked about the present. Let's talk about the future. The future of Gerber Games. Let's talk about animation first. Now, animation on Gerber Games, you know, I've been using something called The Future is Bright. That's my animation software that I've been using for animation on ROBLOX. So it was good. It lasted great, but it's been looking kind of dated. I got to be honest. So, in 2024, Gerber Games is going to be completely revamping its entire animation. We are going to switch to HD graphics. We're going to switch to absolutely stunning visuals. Actually, as we're filming this podcast right now, I'm editing the new city of Homebloxia. Like, it just looks so cool. Like, I mean, yeah, it's awesome. And right now, we're kind of just working on the kinks. You might notice in some of the future episodes, like episode 10, you might see a scene that is incredible quality. Like stunning visuals, cool, just amazing to look at. And then you might see an episode, another scene that just looks like okay, it's kind of cool. So we're gonna play around with the animation, especially in Realm
Yeah,
Trip.
there's been an update with, and I've seen it. There's been an update with the visuals and stuff like that. It all looks so amazing.
Thank
It's
you,
really good quality. You're
thank you.
welcome.
Yeah,
And it's just, th- I'm gonna be honest, seeing how much passion, like there's a lot of people out there that make really great series and stuff like that, but sometimes it's just it dies out and they lose motivation and just stop and do something else with their life, but seeing how determined and motivated Noah is to take series that he's done in the past, redo them, like improve them, make them better, or just like he said, work out the kinks. It's very inspiring
Thank you,
to see.
Kaylee.
Mhm. And
Kay-
hopefully it puts a good impression on the people that do watch and say, "Oh, well, maybe I should try to do what I want to." Like just put good habits and motivate people to do what they want to do.
exactly, and that's a really good saying. I'm not proud of a lot of the work I've done posted on Gerber Games, but it helped me build. Like it helped
Mhm.
me build off of what I know. I learned so much by failing. Like that's the cool
Yeah.
part of it. It's like I learned so much by just putting myself out there, just trying new things and just, you know, working on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you can just not like looking at your old work, but I think you shouldn't despise it because there is you didn't get on, I'd say, like where you are now without this looking back at the steps that got you there.
Exactly.
Like those videos are what got you there. They might it's like for me looking at my old art. It might be very cringy and weird to look at now, but
But back in the day it was revolutionary, and that's saying something. I mean, that is for sure true. Like we're talking about, so much like work has been put into this. I mean, like it's just amazing how much like Gerber Games has become in these past 2 years. Like I never thought Gerber Games would last this long. I was like, okay, Gerber Games might last a couple years. I thought, I'll probably cancel it. We'll see. But I've been working hard on it ever since, and I'm so proud of it. I mean, I honestly don't know what series I will be doing next on Gerber Games. Like, I want to do an adventure series, adventure mode, or not adventure mode. That's already taken. Adventure mode, something like adventure series would be something. I have been working on an adventure series on the side. I've been dabbling into it for I don't know, a couple of years. 2021 was when I really started working on it, and finally I'm just like, I think it's time I start getting that working. I mean, I'm nailing the animation. Like I wish Realm Trip like looked like this, you know?
yeah.
Like I look back
Yeah.
at, yeah, and the Realm Trip, like the voice actors were so talented. I mean, it was a great cast, good, you know, marksmanship. Like everyone worked together. Like that was the cool part. Is like
Yeah.
everyone worked together on this series, and that was the coolest part about that.
Yeah. And even back then it's like technology sometimes doesn't like especially with graphics and stuff like that doesn't really
Absolutely.
sometimes it's not that evolved to have the picture that we want, but good storytelling like it you did with your series, it it did what you wanted and
That's yeah.
it told the story and it was really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess you're right in that stance. It's like, when I first started in 2020, animation on I mean, I'm doing something that has never been done before on Roblox. Like I'm doing new. Like I'm doing animation. I mean, people do animations, but they don't do it the way I do it. They do it in a different way. And people always ask me, "How do you make your animations? Can you show us how to make your animations?" And I'm just like, as much as I'd love to show you my animations, it's hard to show sometimes because there's so much that's put into it. Like I'm like
Oh yeah.
I'd edit a video, but even editing the freaking video would take. I might just do a live stream.
Yeah, I've seen people like do animation rendering on like Blender and stuff like that for their
Yes.
animations. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Exactly. Yeah,
Uh,
Blender is way advanced. You know,
Yeah.
I used
But even on
Blender.
Roblox, it's just like it's crazy to think how like all the buttons and stuff, if it was explained in one video, we'd be sitting here for probably 3 days
Exactly. I mean, it's
getting
just
through just the basics.
oh yeah. I mean, I did render, but or Blender when I first started making videos, and I was like, well, it's okay. I mean, I
Mm.
wasn't a big fan of Blender. It was so hard to learn. People say, "Oh, it's so easy." No, it is so hard to learn Blender. I mean, I use 3D Viewer for all of my like Gerber Games videos, and I'll have to show people how to make thumbnails because I feel like that'd be like a highly requested video. How to make Gerber Games? How do you make your thumbnails?
Mm. Yeah.
Um, but
That
yeah,
that would probably be a good start.
exactly. And then just for the future of Gerber Games, it's undecided right now, but this animation, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna throw a huge celebration, a week-long celebration. I know, like,
Hmm.
people will be like, "Oh, it's just 1,000," but a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to actually reach 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
I mean, Gerber Games has celebrated 3 years, and it's just crazy to think about how much has changed. Like, it's
Yeah, like
crazy.
all the big YouTubers now, I'm pretty sure that when they started, I'm a lot for them, a lot of it was difficult to start getting views, seeing like just being seen by people.
Oh,
And
yeah, for sure.
yeah, and some people do like having small communities because they've like a lot of people have seen how becoming famous can change a person. So they enjoy having the small community. And I can see both points. I
Absolutely.
can I can see how having a smaller community and having a close circle of just your fans, and you can be open and personal with them if you want to, other than like basically talking to over half the population on the planet.
No,
I'm sure it
exactly.
would be a lot more difficult.
Absolutely. I mean, I've always wanted to have a big audience. I mean, I would love if we were recognized more.
But we'll get there one step at a time.
Absolutely. No, for sure. I mean, it's just, it'll happen. Absolutely. I am really excited for the future of Gerber Games. I mean, we are doing things that we would have thought of 3 years ago. I said, hey, let's try out a podcast. I wonder what that would be like. And look at us now. We're filming the first ever Gerber Games podcast, which is interesting.
Hmm.
I have that NPR voice. I listen to NPR. Welcome back to NPR Radio.
And I have the squeaky gruff voice because my throat sucks right now.
Oh, tell me about it. Allergy season. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's first ever podcast here on Gerber Games. If you guys like this kind of content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so we can do more videos like this. The next video is going to be a little different. It's going to be internet safety, how to manage the internet, and basically Roblox in a world like this, in a crazy,
Hmm.
fun world like
Hmm.
this. So that's going to be for that one. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Kaylee, thanks for joining this podcast.
You're welcome. It was a lot of fun. I tried to do a deep voice.
Right? All right. Bye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.